All right, Dad, just this past Monday was the final day to submit comments for the Federal Trade Commission's proposed rules to ban some shady car dealer practices. If those of you who are watching this video are not familiar with those rules, it was the advertised price of a vehicle is the actual price of the vehicle.
I like that.
Yep, crazy concept.
Yeah.
We had non-discriminatory practices for cash buyers. So if you were paying cash, you wouldn't get different prices than if you were financing. We had no products that could be sold with no benefit to the consumer, nitro-fill tire, VIN-etch, things like that. Things that legitimately have no value, as deemed by our federal government, would no longer be products that could be sold to a consumer.
That one's going to be tough, only because how do you define what has no value? What has no value to somebody might have value to somebody else. But
there's definitely some products that have no value, and enhanced consent for finance and insurance add-ons. Now, on the final day, which was September 12th, on the final day for public comment, the National Automobile Dealers Association submitted a 140-page essay outlining why these rules are bad. I have a copy of it.
Okay.
And I will read to you the first sentence.
Okay.
The motor vehicle retailing model is efficient, consumer-friendly, fundamentally sound, heavily regulated, and will not benefit from additional governmental intervention.
Could you read that to me one more time?
The motor vehicle retailing model is efficient.
As you're reading it, I'm going to count how many lies are in the first sentence. So start again.
The motor vehicle.
Yes, that's true.
Retailing model.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
We should just stop here.
Well, now let's start counting lies.
Is efficient.
Lie number one.
And not only for the consumer, for the dealer too.
So that's lie number one. It's not efficient.
Yeah, it's not efficient. Consumer friendly.
That's lie number two. It's certainly anything but consumer friendly, which is the way dealers would like to keep it. Yeah.
Fundamentally sound.
That's another lie. Fundamentally sound in what way and for who?
Heavily regulated.
That part might be true. It's just not enforced.
Enforced, yeah. It's regulated. I wouldn't say it's enforced.
Yes.
And will not benefit from additional governmental intervention.
That part could very well be a lie.
Yeah, that also could be true. I think those two pieces are pretty true.
Yes.
In the sense that, generally speaking, the more involved our government gets doesn't necessarily mean better or more efficient outcomes.
No.
However,
the
fact that buying a car is currently not efficient, not consumer-friendly, and not fundamentally sound brings to light the reason that these FTC rules were proposed.
Yeah, there is nothing efficient about the process as most dealerships practice it today. And that typically starts with how they advertise their vehicles online. And that's when consumers find out rather quickly that, well, the price isn't really the price. If it were efficient, the price that was advertised would be, I don't know, go figure, the actual price that you could buy it for. And the only thing that you would have to add to the price would be the state fees, sales taxes, title, registration, things like that.
And wouldn't things be so much more efficient if the advertised price was that price?
Then the process could be efficient because a consumer could quickly and easily figure out what the total price would be when they're looking at the vehicle online. And maybe some dealers, good dealers, would think to themselves, well, we should probably just post what the selling price is and what the total price is with all the fees, so the customer can know before they come in, and they can make a determination before they arrive as to whether or not it actually fits into their budget.
Buying a car? Let the team at YAA help. Use the code FALL20 and save 20% on a YAA membership, or use FALL100 and save $100 on an extended warranty.
Was that one of the biggest inefficiencies you saw when you were selling cars? People came in, they thought they were buying a car for $30,000, but the actual out-the-door price or what they were going to finance with was like $38,000?
Yes, because what happened is people would look at cars, and in my day, everybody wanted a car payment of $250 a month. Okay, I like a car payment of $250 a month for 60 months. Okay, well, that's what 2 times 6 is 12, so that's 12,000, and so that's what, $17,000 at $250 a month. Well, meanwhile, let's say they had $3,000 to put down, so now you're at a $20,500 car out the door. Okay. Well, they're out looking at cars that are $22,000, $23,000 before you start adding the sales tax and everything else. So they've already fallen in love with a vehicle that does not fit into their budget because, A, they didn't realize that there was fees that would have to be added, and B, a lot of consumers haven't done any research to see how much they could actually finance to be at $250 a month. The biggest obstacle we had was people wanting a lower payment and always looking at a car that would never get them to that payment. I mean, literally, when I would have people go, well, I won't pay more than $300 a month for 60 months. Okay, that's $18,000. Why are we looking at a $30,000 car? And that's $18,000 if the bank thought you were so special that they wouldn't charge you any interest to lend you that money for 5 years, and that's not happening. So people need to understand what monthly payments equate to.
So let's be clear.
So that's part of what should be.
The NADA is wrong in their statement about it being efficient, not only because the dealerships advertise prices that aren't the actual price, but also because...
And haven't been for years.
Correct.
Yes.
But also because a lot of consumers walk in and have totally misconstrued expectations of what they're about to get into, which is in part informed by the fact that they're looking at not the actual price online.
Yes.
It's a bit of a vicious cycle.
Because we used to run into it all the time, people with unrealistic expectations. That means that there's no efficiency in how we're trying to do things, and it's really not customer friendly. What would be customer friendly is if dealerships provided consumers with the ability to figure things out, like how much I can finance, what financing X amount would put me at what type of payment. If the price were the price, then this is what I would be looking at. And good dealers that operate in a customer-centric manner, I believe, wouldn't be opposed to something like that.
Well, let's ask the question, why are dealers, why is the NADA submitting a 140-page memo, essentially, saying these are bad proposals, and let's just focus for the time being on the advertised price as the actual price. Why would a dealership be against that?
Well, because it would prevent them from making additional dealer profit by adding other things into the price. Dealerships feel as if they need to advertise a price that is attractive enough to bring the customer in. Might not be the real price, just attractive enough to bring the customer in. And if everybody had to advertise what the real price is, then it would be much easier for a consumer to decide what it is they want to buy and where it is they want to buy it. And it would cut out what is affectionately referred to by everybody as the games that are played at dealerships. I would suspect that 95% of all people that have bought a car would tell you that they really don't care for the process, that it's not something that they look forward to doing, because if ever something's been rigged against the consumer, it's buying a car.
Yeah.
They don't have all the information that they need in order to make an intelligent decision. And the dealerships are less than forthcoming when it comes to providing that information.
What do you want to see the FTC do?
I would like to see them two things that I think are very important. I would like to see them implement the proposals as they've written them. Mm-hmm. And more importantly than that, I would like to see them enforce them. Rules and regulations mean nothing if there is no enforcement. So I would like them to put together a task force that can actually double check what the dealer advertised the vehicle for and what the dealership sold it for. And that wouldn't be all that hard to do. You could just randomly pull deals at dealerships, especially if they have to keep copies of their advertised price in the deal folders.
Yeah.
But that's the key. The key is to have enforcement of the rules and regulations that exist now and the enhanced rules and regulations that might come out.
Do you think there will be any change as a result of all this? What's your gut tell you?
My gut tells me no.
Yeah, my gut unfortunately tells me no too.
I would hope that just one time, that somebody in government gets it and says, "The hell with it. We're actually going to enforce these rules."
And I think, to be clear, the reason I say no, and I think the reason you say no, is because this has happened before.
Mhm.
People come in, they want to do change.
Mhm.
It's going to move incredibly slowly.
Yes.
Dealers make a lot of money in the current system.
Yes.
OEMs make a lot of money. Everyone makes a lot of money.
Yes.
So why would they want to change it? Because we want them to change it?
Because
Okay,
it would be the fair thing to do. Well,
Yeah, well.
there's very little that gets done in this country that's usually fair. If we can create enough
noise.
then perhaps consumer affairs divisions and the FTC and others will begin to pay attention and enforce the rules and regulations that there are, so that there can be some change in the industry. Okay.